Hello, my name is Nicole, and in this video I'm going to talk to you and explain to you everything about Premiere Rush. This is a great platform and software that you can use to edit your social media content. It's literally made for social media content. So I want to explain to you the whole interface, and you're gonna see that it's actually pretty easy to learn. So let's go. First, you need to, of course, download and install Premiere Rush. And once you open it, you should see empty screen because I have had a lot of different projects already. And I'm going to show you that it's like a lot. The reason for that is there's no database and there's no project file from Premiere Rush. That means every single project that you create is going to be accessible from your opening page from Premiere Rush. And that is why I have so many. So you can click on this big blue button on the left, create a new project. So I'm going to click. And if you go at the bottom, you can name this. So let's do 12th October. Okay. And you can select the footage, but before, let's just go over some other settings here. So I'm going to click on this setting wheel, and I can set up my project and sequence as 16:9, which is horizontal format. As you can see, the vertical, and then 4:5, kind of like a rectangle Instagram post, LinkedIn post, and so on. 1:1, pure square. Auto reframe mismatched clips. So if you're putting horizontal footage into a vertical project, you can auto reframe, and Premiere Rush is going to try to fit in that footage within that frame. And if you have any pictures, you can also click and check that you want to pan and zoom photos so they are not just still images. This is actually pretty good, but you can also enable this after you create project, then import your footage if you need that. So you can just click OK for now. And then if you go at the bottom, what you can do, you can sync this with Creative Cloud if you want to work on this from different computers or different accounts. So you can always access that online, and it's going to sync whatever you do is going to sync with your Creative Cloud. And you can also copy media. So everything that you import, even from your cloud files, is going to be saved in your computer as well, which I don't want to do any of that right now. So what I'm going to do, you have to select some files to work with if you want to import anything, because Premiere Rush is also an app on the phone, meaning the timeline is sticky, or you can say magnetic. This is how it works. So we have to select something. So you can select images, you can select, you can import videos, logos, anything that you want, and it just takes it as a file, including the audio. What I'm going to do, though, I'm going to go to sample media at the bottom, and I'm going to show you some of the files that we can work with. I'm going to click, and we have video, music, and video. The order, you can always reorder them, so it's okay, whatever the order you select, and then you just create, click on create. We're going to prepare that project. Nice. Okay. So I didn't select what aspect ratio I want, and that is why I am now on default, which is horizontal. But let me take you from the beginning. Let's start from the left side, okay? So all the way to the left, I have this home button, and underline, what is underlined is edit. That means I am now currently on the edit workspace. So if I click this home by accident, I am taken back to the projects, okay? So I can go back by accessing my latest project, which I can see right here. So I'm gonna click back, and I'm back in the editing workspace right now. And next to edit, I have share, and this is where I want to export my videos. So after I'm done, I can click share workspace, and I can export my video. We're gonna do this later. I'm gonna go back, click edit, and big plus, blue plus button, okay, that's add media. So I'm gonna click on add media, and I have 4 options here. Your media, so I can basically go to media browser and find my footage, like desktop, my files, and import this from my computer. You can also drag and drop, by the way, into the timeline and or your project files, but also you can just properly do it from media browser. Okay, next one is graphics. So I can import titles, transition graphics, overlays, meaning titles, I can click more and I have all those beautiful free templates, okay? Totally free. And for example, if I want to use some, I can drag it into my timeline, okay, and then see what it does. That's like a news title. And or I can actually, let me just select this one, click and then click on add button, and it's going to add that where you have your playhead, okay? So then we have transitions. Transitions are basically, some of them have titles, some of them don't, and they are meant to be like for sometimes half a second, just like quick transition between the files. You can fully customize them. I'll show you that very shortly. So I'm gonna go back, and overlays are kind of like fun emojis, loading buttons, frame. So for example, I can select this frame, picture frame, and then I'm gonna add, and you're gonna see if I place that on top of the video in my timeline, it looks like an image, right? So now my video is inside of this frame. So these are pretty nice and cool. I have some emojis, leave a like button as well. So for example, boom. So it's just about finding what you like and making the right combination. So it looks good. Okay, let's go back. Audio. So the good news, these songs are all for free, so you can use them. They are copyright free. You can use them free. You can use them for commercial purposes, any kind of purpose. Very, 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 very cool. Okay, sound effects, usually like animals. Sometimes it's kind of weird, but if it fits with your video, go for it. And then loops, pretty much like jingles, okay, that you can use. Okay, and the last one is voiceover. So the voiceover is this little button as well. In the microphone, in the timeline, you can add voiceover to your video. Just plug in a good microphone, and then you can start recording and talking. Okay, so now under the big plus button, we have project assets. So anything that you import is going to appear right here. For those of you who have like HDD, is it like ODD, ODC, OCD, you cannot organize the folders. I'm sorry, it's called Premiere Rush and everything is like in Rush. So you cannot organize the folders. So what you can do, you can rename, not the files, unfortunately, but you can rename sequences. So I'm going to do this because I want to show you something. I'm going to rename this sequence, which is my horizontal. So the whole project is 12th of October, but this sequence right here, what I'm working with, is called horizontal. And I'm gonna show you later something. Okay, so going at the bottom left, okay, we have scissors. So this little thing with like a blue thing, it's a marker, but we call it playhead. It shows you exactly where you are in the video. So if I want to make a cut, and let's say want to make this video shorter, there are a couple of ways I can do this. And one way is the simple one, which is just going with your cursor at the beginning of the video and then just click and drag it. And now I've cut the beginning. If you want to go back, you just click and drag it back. Okay, so like it's no hustle. However, if you're editing interview and so on, and you want to cut something out of that interview, so you need to split that clip because you want to keep the rest. You just want to cut out the middle section. So you can use scissors, or you can just hit S on your keyboard, and it's going to split your video where your playhead is. And it's going to split only video if you're highlighting it, and it's highlighted when it turns orange. If you want to split the song, you need to click on the song. So I'm going to click on that video and I'm going to hit scissors, and I have split here. And then if I want to cut out like the middle section, so from here until here, I'm going to split again. And now I chop that video 1, 2 into 3 videos. And I can highlight that middle section and just literally hit delete on the keyboard, or you can right click and delete one clip. And there's no gaps on your first track because it's magnetic. Okay, if I want to duplicate anything, and that goes, let's duplicate a title. Okay, so I'm going to highlight the title, and then that's the next button, duplicate. And now I have the title twice. So then I can move this around and I have the same style, and I can just duplicate it as many times as I want. And if I want to delete with this click, I have the delete icon as well. So this is the delete option. So another one is expand audio. Why would I want to do that? So number 1, I'm going to highlight where they talk. So the track number 1, this little vlog, and I'm going to click on expand audio. Now I can see audio peaks, and I can see where they make a pause. And this is very, very good for like interviews or just voice videos, where you don't have to go through the whole like audio first. You just see like where are the pauses, maybe the pauses or lower audio peaks where you can see that was the question asked that you want to cut out. So I like to expand my audio many times when I edit interviews. And then the last one is expand your timeline. So control tracks. So you see it expands, and you have more tools available on your tracks. So number 1, every single video is in the video track and audio is in the audio track, except when you have the video and it has the audio because it was recorded at the same time with your camera. And that is why it's connected. So it doesn't go into the audio track like the song. It just keeps it together with the video. So this is the track number 1, that's the video track. And then we have the titles. So I can put the title in my main track as well. And this is the frame in this case. However, now I'm just going to see the frame and then I'm going to continue to the video. So there is a hierarchy. And if you want this frame to obviously cover the whole video, you need to expand it so it covers everything. And it has to be on top in the timeline. So there's a hierarchy right there. If you want to see like how it would look like without this graphic, you hit this invisible button, hide track, and you can see, oh, this is how it looks before and then after. If you want to mute everything that you have in a certain track, you're just gonna hit on this speaker. So you can mute audio for the whole track. And then if you are done with editing a certain track, you can also lock it. And in that case, you cannot click on it by mistake and just drag it around. So in the audio tracks, we have the microphone. So I can start recording. And it's good if you do that in a track which is not, which is basically empty. Otherwise, you're going to overwrite it. So I can start recording here. Preferences menu, so I can show you. Let's go to preferences. It's called settings, but okay. Okay. And yep. You can do the voiceover as you're speaking. And then you just hit space, or you hit this button again and your voiceover has been recorded. So moving on onto the right section. Okay, so just to go over the timeline. So this is the playhead, correct? And magnetic is the first track right here. On the second track, you can make spaces between your layers and videos. Only on the first track, you cannot make space between, okay? And the second thing is sometimes the layers get stuck together, and I know it's annoying. So if I want to move this somewhere else, this insert first title right here, I cannot because it's kind of sticking with this one for some reason. You just lock one track and then you move this wherever you want, and then you can unlock. And now it doesn't stick to anything. So this is kind of like a hack to go around that. Go into the right section of the screen. The first option is add graphic. You can add graphic from this section, or you can hit that blue button and add graphic from there. However, if you want to edit a graphic, this is also where you go, but you need to click on the graphic that you want to edit, and all of a sudden you have all these options right here. So if I want to say something else and say, give us a like or a thumbs up, I can change the text. Okay, so I'm going to click on the text right here, and now I can change it. I can change the font, of course, as well to anything that I want to make it align with the brand, font size. And if I don't want the text there at all, to be honest, I'm just gonna highlight it and just hit delete. And all of a sudden, because it's empty, I don't see it. But I can always go back and type it back. So what I'm left with is a thumbs up. So I don't have any text there. Let me go back. Okay, so let's go to this one, for example. The same story. The difference is I have another element that I can change. So this background, if I want to change the color of that background, this is where I need to find it first, and then I can change all the attributes. So I'm gonna actually delete this outline, shadow as well, and now it looks totally different. So there's infinite options of how you can customize the graphics that you want to use. Okay, the second option that we have is effects. This is pretty much transitions, all right? So if I want, let me go back to video. If I want to have the transition right here, so let's say it's gonna go, okay, I'm gonna do like dissolve. So now the transition is added, and when I play, it's gonna dissolve into another image. If I want to get rid of the transition, then I'm just gonna click none, or I can highlight that transition and hit delete on my keyboard, and it's gone. You can use like wipe up, wipe down, slide up, slide down. So you have different options for what you can do. We have pan and zoom auto reframe as well. I'll show you later because I don't have the files here that I can use, but another one is color. So I can select the vlog and then go to color. And this is basically like Instagram. Like it's literally Instagram, okay? Like filters, and what is different is you can go to edit section and play with shadows, highlights yourself. And then you can also decide if you want to apply to all or if it's only applicable to the highlighted clip. And the best part is you can create your own preset as well. Okay, moving on to speed. This is so cool. So I'm going to show you on this boat. If I'm on this speed section, what I can do is I can speed up or slow down the whole entire clip, or I can move these handles and change which sections I want to speed up or slow down. So range speed, if I'm going over 100, I'm speeding it up. If I go below 100, I'm slowing it down. Then obviously making the video longer or super short because it's super quick. And you can ramp the transition from 100% down or up. Okay, and then the audio. So you have to be clicked on a certain audio, whether this is video audio or the song or the voiceover. So the clip volume, you can change if you don't like how it sounds right now, you will see that the peaks go down as well. You can mute that individual clip if you don't want to mute the whole track. And then you can also have auto volume, and auto duck is for the music to duck when people talk. That's pretty cool, to be honest. I can auto duck. You see, this is where they talk, and the music here just went down by itself, also in this section here. So Premiere Rush can analyze where people talk, and then your background music just goes down by itself. It's so cool. Going down, the last section is transform, and this is for the graphics or videos or pictures. So this is where you crop, this is where you change the position, this is where you scale. So let's say I want to have this all the way to the left, so I'm going to change horizontal position here. I can actually like scale it down, move it a little bit more. You can make it like less opacity, flip it, horizontal, vertical, and then I can crop it from the left like this. And then I'm gonna go and put this video on top, and I'm gonna do horizontal position this, like this. Yeah, so now I have picture in picture, and that brings me into how do you create a solid background. That is very, very interesting. So we're gonna go to the graphics, and we're gonna go to transitions, and then we're gonna search solid. And another question will be, how do we get it all the way at the bottom? This is the best this is the biggest like struggle for beginners. So I have it all the way up, which obviously in the hierarchy it covers everything. So how do I get this all the way down? So let me see if I can drag it. Yes, everything, if you drag it all the way down to the track number 1, everything moves away. So all I have to do now is to drag this up on top of it. However, so I'm going to do this. When I click on this particular video, you can see it's attached and sticking to everything around that. So I cannot just move it. I cannot. So unfortunately, I need to lock, and then I need to put this on top. And I know it was the other way around. So I need to unlock, and then it's like a puzzle. It's like a puzzle. I didn't design it, so it's like a puzzle. All right. And what we have in the middle, so this is the timings where I am exactly right now, the controls for playback, full screen, loop if you want to have the video play over and over again, and then change aspect ratio. So let's go to 9:16, for example. And here I can show you the auto reframe. So I'm going to go to effects, and I'm going to enable auto reframe. So obviously this is vertical format. So what I have is not like in the center, there's nobody, right? So I'm going to enable auto reframe and watch the magic happen on this clip. Did you see like it shifted? Exactly. So it's finding who is talking and then reframes that video to stay on that person. I mean, if this is not smart, then nothing is. And I think that's it, right? The last thing I'm going to show you is pan and zoom. So if you want to import some images, okay, let me go to images. Oh, actually, I'm going to do like my cool picture. So I can import, drag and drop, place that in my timeline. And then the thing is, like when you play image, it doesn't do anything. So it looks very boring. So I can pan and zoom, click on the image and then pan, zoom, and all of a sudden, ooh, how do you change that? Boom, pan and zoom, click, and I can adjust how my video starts and where it actually ends. So now I have changed my aspect ratio, right? However, I have this sequence called horizontal. So you know what, let me go back to making this horizontal. And what I'm gonna do, because sometimes you wanna have horizontal video for YouTube and then you want to have vertical versions for social media. So you don't wanna lose your work. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna duplicate this sequence and horizontal copy, I'm gonna rename to vertical. And then I'm going to change this. Am I on? Yes. I'm right now on vertical, and now I'm going to change aspect ratio. That means I still have my horizontal original, and then I have my vertical right now. And then I can create a square and so on. And did you see the graphics adjust your aspect ratio automatically? So we don't have to do anything. Pretty clever. Okay. Let's say I'm done and I want to export. Let's go to share and name your video, choose the location, estimated file size. If you don't like it, go to advanced settings and select lower resolution, or you select lower quality and it's going to drop for your size. That is pretty much it. You hit the export and that's it.